And we finally have it, March's Coro Coro Leaks. Few days later than normal, but it looks like we have a little bit of interesting information to talk about. Nothing massive, no new Pokemon, no Zeraora just yet, but the Lugia information that was promised has been released. Coro Coro confirms that Lugia will be distributed when pre-booking tickets for the new movie Everyone's Story Knows the Move Hurricane. Now, there's a little bit more like history and context and stuff if you want to branch upon that. That's effectively the update that we have right now. Joe Merrick already calling this one a few days ago, so Coro Coro hasn't leaked, but the official movie site put out details of what to expect in it, and it looks like this issue will be dealing with the pre-orders of tickets, meaning Lugia news is most likely connected to a distribution, because we've seen this for years and years now consecutively. Like, this is just how Pokemon does it. As we can see, this is pretty much what I was expecting. Pre-orders of tickets almost always start in April, and they announce it a little bit beforehand, but I know many of you were going crazy with speculation. Now, my speculation, I'm not looking at this and being like, oh my god, it's confirmed off of that. My speculation is more, it's going to be interesting to see if Pokemon takes it to the extreme. So that's what we're dealing with. However, this is still a pretty fancy Lugia, because first off, that promotional art, every little bit I see, it just makes me a little bit more and more excited about the movie. Like, that's pretty sexy right there. But it will know Hurricane, which is an exclusive move to the event, which means we're probably going to receive the distribution at some point after the movie comes out in Japan. Don't know how that's going to work for, Pokebank, transfer, Nintendo Switch game, all that fun stuff, but it is kind of interesting. And also, there is more than just the one image, so getting a 2-page spread for this event, so fairly significant, and just kind of branching on, because remember, guys, last month was not just, hey, get ready for a Lugia event next month. That's pretty much what we can assume. It's like, oh, we have a Lugia movie, much like with the Ho-Oh movie, there's going to be something tying in with that. That's why I had this up right here, because I was going for the timelines. I was trying to see what happened when, what to expect, everything like that, see if we can get a little carried away with some of the speculation. But as it stood, we had the Coro Coro leak for March 2017, and that was for the Ash Cat Pikachu event, and everything else seems to be about the same. Original Cat Pikachu can be obtained April 15th through May 1st, and we have the Lugia distribution starting in April with the tickets, and then you receive a code, you claim it online. The Pikachu one, just a bit more fancy, because depending on when you claimed it, this happened for months and months and months, you received the different variants. So, yeah, this is kind of what we're looking at. So I was thinking about, what about the future? What does this mean for Zeraora? What does this mean for new Pokemon releases? Well, this is still where it gets a little crazy, because for April, that's when we got the trailer that revealed Marshadow. Now, the Japanese movie trailer had Marshadow in it, but we still got a simultaneous global announcement that Marshadow had been discovered, but we had to wait a couple months to get the actual update. I believe this happened in April. The announcement for the Marshadow event was in July, so like after the movie aired in Japan, but I think that since like the information, a lot of the news is kind of connected right now, we might expect something a little sooner. That's what we're going into there. And then I think this Coro Coro had something about a Ho-Oh distribution. So all the distributions are lining up. We might get a tease for Zeraora next month in either Coro Coro or some kind of movie trailer. Might be a little longer. It just depends on what's happening with the Nintendo Switch. Because when I first saw the Lugia distribution, I'm like, wait, does this cancel out Zeraora? But following from the last movie where we had a new mythical Pokemon kind of tying in at not the last minute, but near the end, it does seem like Zeraora is still a possibility for the movie, but how far it goes from there is still unknown. I was also just kind of looking at the distribution, multi-scale, so actually hidden ability without having to do transfer, which is pretty nice. And then we have Aeroblast, Defog, Tailwind, and Hurricane. Move it can't normally learn. We'll bring more as it comes. It's also level 100, so free hyper training right there. Serial code will be from April 13th through July 12th. So the basic information, but remember guys, we have more things to come, because this is what it says, It also states that next month, the issue of Coro Coro will reveal an important scoop on Lugia, and to pay extra attention to Lugia this year. So it doesn't end this month. We don't get our Lugia distribution and then we call it good. But what that does mean is that now, alright, we get the event out of the way, so what's left for Lugia? Now this is where my separate, unconfirmed, not tied in with everyone else speculation of new Lugia form comes into play, because I already did a video covering this, already did a video covering like Zeraora might even be an 8th generation Pokemon, but the further we get into this, there's nothing immediately debunking any of that right now, and one thing is that the movie is based on the Wind Festival, so like we see with a lot of, anime specials or movie events, there's some kind of festival going on, there's some kind of local event that Ash just stumbles into, meets a legendary Pokemon, makes a couple of friends, and then shenanigans ensue. Now, the level of shenanigans is where we're going to find out how this ends up playing out. But Wind Festival is interesting with this one because the Lugia distribution has only flying type moves. Boom, look at that. You can just see it right there. So it seems like a Wind Festival based Lugia might have something to do with the movie, and I'm wondering if that could also relate to something for the form and the potential new evolution. So going off of the merchandise leaks that we had yesterday, and yes, those are leaks. I hate how people just say these aren't leaks. No, just because it's not posted on 4chan and it doesn't have, like, you know, 144p quality off a scanner, off someone's phone, off a laptop or something, doesn't mean that's not a leak. That this Coro Coro happens every month. This is a leak because it's confirmed information that gets distributed before it's announced, or before it's supposed to. Coro Coro publishes on the 15th. We get leaks. We get early access to that information from the 8th, sometimes to the 15th. So we're kind of at the later end, but normally we expect it around the 10th. That's kind of how leaks break down. So when it comes to merchandise, that's where things get fancy, because Flying Eevee seems pretty free when we're dealing with the Wind Festival, Lugia, this very open, this very airy kind of setup for the entire movie, and now an all-flying move-based Lugia with the exclusive move Hurricane. So it's going to whip up, dude, if Lugia gets pissed off at something, bad guys come in, take control of Lugia. Like, what happens if, you know, corrupts Lugia, Shadow Lugia, goes into XD Gale of Darkness style video game for Nintendo Switch? There's a lot of weird things that could happen. But yeah, Lugia gets mad, whips up a Hurricane. I mean, a flap of its wings causes a 40-day storm. Gotta be careful about that one. And then that brings us to this. So yeah, we have, you know, new mystery figures next to plushes. These are leaks. This information is not supposed to be the public right now. It got leaked early because the reveal, I believe, is supposed to be next month for just this, and then like further information will be coming in the future. So yeah, this is where the speculation lies in. There's a question mark next to the Eevee, which looks like something that we've seen in the past with Rockruff. So this Rockruff turned into its evolutions. Eevee next to something incredibly similar could hint at a new evolution. If it's only one, that's a little unfortunate. Like, I feel the 6th generation was a little gyppy. I don't know if that's a real word, but I feel like we did get gypped in a way. Just getting the 1 evolution in Sylveon, I would like to see 2, 3, just really start like going ham with the evolutions. So getting 1 again after 2 more generations, it would be pretty cool if it's like a flying Eevee or something, because it ties in with the rest of the theme. That's pretty nice. Also, this right here doesn't directly relate to Lugia, because there's our Lugia plush, there's a Pikachu plush, so we have something else happening right there. Tying in with the Ash Cap, you know, this could be something event related, could just be, you know, fancy new plush, or it could be a new Pokemon. The overall running idea is that this is Zeraora, but at the same time, could get a new Lugia form, potentially could get a lot of weird stuff. And then we have the Movie 21 merchandise to talk about, because I kind of called this already, but again, like, the more information we get, it just keeps adding on in these crazy little ways. We have this right here. I already did a video talking about, actually, no, wait, that's a new one. We had this one. Well, I saw this one, I'm like, hey, what about a new Lugia form? Well, I mean, check this out. We got Pikachu, we got Lugia, 3 others. What could that be? So now that we're getting more information, it's like, okay, what does this turn into? Evolution? Because, like, we already have Lugia there, so would it be weird if they did Lugia and then Lugia form, especially with this one being larger, but again, no image. They might just, like, entirely rework how this ends up playing out when all the information becomes available. But, I mean, Eevee itself, because I think this was actually before she was revealed to have an Eevee, so maybe like Eevee, Evolution, Zeraora. We just have like all these new Pokemon and figures and stuff. Then we went into this, so showing off, yeah, like look at the 3 Pokemon that are getting a lot of press. Pikachu, because Pikachu, Lugia, because it's in the movie, and Eevee, thinking on that one. And then there's still a lot of things yet to be revealed right here when it comes to the rest of the merch. We got Lugia, we got Pikachu, alternate forms still could fit in. Now this doesn't mean, you know, 8 new Pokemon are going to be released, but it could have like some future significance to the movie. Maybe one of the villains Pokemon, maybe something like that could expand. Maybe there's like a surprise evolution for a different Pokemon or something. So that's what really has me interested. Also, just kind of thinking about this from a potential Generation 8 movie. We still don't have confirmation of Generation 8. It's just like the overall given speculation right now, because new console, Nintendo Switch game, Generation 7 seems pretty wiped out and done right now. So because of that, we're just kind of looking at everything else going on. And yeah, if there's like a new Generation 8 Pokemon that just gets plopped in that isn't Zeraora, or isn't even like, if we get a new evolution, I think that pretty much calls in Generation 8, much like we had with Sylveon. But we knew about Sylveon by this time, which makes it just a little more interesting. But looking at some of the other things, you know, even if it isn't new evolution, there could just be a new kind of Pokemon that's thrown in here, and maybe that's what this is for. So, Zeraora evolution, other 8th generation Pokemon, Lugia may or may not receive a form, but a lot of question marks are coming in, guys, and if we learned anything from Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, that could be pretty significant for having new Pokemon, new forms, and all kinds of crazy new reveals. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.